And now I'd like to move on to the design stage. And in the design stage, the underlying theme is simplicity. Now, simplicity is important, of course, through all stages, but especially when we're talking about design and talking about visuals. And there are many concepts that you can keep in mind when we're talking about visuals and designing our visuals. I will talk specifically about 7 very useful principles. But before that, I thought it would be interesting to do something a little bit different and talk to you about 3 principles that I got from the world of Zen and the Zen arts that is a little bit different, but you actually can apply these to the world of presentation design as well. The first one is called kanso, which is a Japanese word for simplicity. It's one of the Japanese words for simplicity, which basically means less is more. So think subtraction, not just addition, or look at a design and ask yourself, what could I eliminate here rather than add to it to make it more powerful? The next one is shizen, which basically just means naturalness. And as it applies to visual design, it really is the opposite of slick. We don't want an overly designed or sort of overly slick or artificial. You want designs that are, good looking and very effective, but not sort of forced creativity. The next one is called shibumi. Now, this one's a little bit hard to explain because it has many different meanings depending on the context. But when we're talking about visual design, the idea of shibumi is basically about elegant simplicity or articulate brevity. You can think in terms of suggestion rather than just really, beating someone over the head with it visually. So these ideas really get back to again to the idea of simplifying, and that if you simplify, you can actually amplify your message. Amplification through simplification is an idea that people like Scott McCloud has talked about in his book on comics. And the thing is, amplification through simplification is not an idea that is very common with most people. Most people try to avoid simplifying because they think it's going to actually weaken their design. But the thing is, if you keep this in mind, amplification through simplification will actually make your designs much more powerful.